Hey guys, it's John V here with PhoneArena. So all of that you just saw was the madness I witnessed at the Apple Store on Fifth Avenue in New York City for the launch of the iPhone X. And speaking of that phone, I got my first chance to look at it up close and personal, so I'm going to quickly dive in and talk about my experience with it. So let me talk about what stood out for me first, and that is the design. This is a radically different looking iPhone. It has that same trend we've been seeing in the space of late, that all-screen, near bezel-less form factor, and has some premium qualities with it. When it comes to iconic designs, this one definitely rivals the original iPhone. I think the original iPhone and the iPhone 4 were the best designed iPhones, but the iPhone X here is pretty much on par. That's partly thanks to the premium materials they use. It's glass meets a stainless steel frame, and that stainless steel frame definitely gives it a substantial feel in the hand. It follows that all-screen approach that we've seen in the space countless times already, from the Galaxy S8 to the LG V30. Everyone's doing this, and Apple's finally in on the trend. And it looks good, but there's one distracting thing about it, and that's the notch at the top of the display. Now that notch houses the new True Depth camera system. It's used with its brand new facial recognition technology, but to me, that cutout is still a little bit distracting and takes away from the symmetry of the phone. What's shocking too is that they've taken away the home button. That's been synonymous with the design of the iPhones for so long, so for it to be gone is a big shock. But it's kind of interesting because this is going to take some time for people to get adjusted to, but I think it's going to become second nature to everyone. So yeah, the design's definitely up there. You have a lot of premium qualities, and on top of that, I appreciate that it has a water-resistant construction, although I just wish that they brought back the headphone jack. But you know that's never going to happen. The next thing that really stood out for me is the display. So it's a 5.8-inch 2436 by 1125 Super Retina display. They want to call it Super, I don't know why, but it is what it is. But it's nice that they finally increased the resolution above 1080p, because many of its rivals and competitors have been using Quad HD and even above for quite some time now. So it's nice that Apple finally moved forward with the resolution, and also utilizes OLED technology. So it has all those characteristics you'd expect. It offers some exceptional wide viewing angles. You have those deep black colors, and there's just an iridescent glow that I love about it. But still, that notch on the top of the display is just a little bit distracting. When you look at it on the surface, there's not a whole lot different with the iOS experience here with the iPhone X versus the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. They're pretty much the same simple, straightforward approach as before, with the exception that the home button's gone now. And that kind of changed the way you navigate around the home screen. For me, it just took me a little bit of time getting acquainted with the new way of accessing things like the notifications panel, getting back to the home screen, and even accessing the Action Center area, because that's all different here. But after a while, I kind of figured out they utilize a lot of different gestures, whether it's from the bottom portion of the screen to the corners. It's going to take some time getting acquainted, but it'll become second nature over time. And the last thing that really stood out for me is the new Animojis feature with the platform. So in addition to sending text messages or emojis, you can now send this new Animoji, which is basically an animated emoji. And it utilizes the new True Depth camera system on the phone, so it tracks every subtle movement on your face. And I gotta say, it's pretty accurate. It pretty much tracks every subtle movement. I had, one eyebrow up, the other one down. It did that, which is pretty cool. But I feel like this might be a novel feature. It might be great for the first few times, but I hope they really take advantage of this new True Depth camera system and really implement it in other areas of the experience. Besides that, the other notable things I could say include the cameras in the back. It's a dual camera setup, much like the iPhone 8 Plus. It features two 12 megapixel cameras. One of them has an f1.8 lens, the other one's an f2.4 with a 2x zoom. And of course, you're gonna get those nice portrait shots and the ability to choose those different lighting effects. What's even better is that the phone has the ability to shoot 4K video at 60 frames per second. Now this is very important because very few DSLRs have this ability. So for a phone to do that, that is pretty darn impressive. And lastly, there's also wireless charging included because of that new glass finish with the design. It allows you to do that now. And that's my quick hands-on look at the new iPhone X. I'm eager to check it out. It starts at $1,000 for the 64GB model, but you're probably better off going with the next version up, which is the 256GB model for only $1,100. You can get more out of your money out of that one, but it's still a pretty expensive investment, and I'm kind of curious to know how much better is it than the typical flagships that are priced at $700? Is that $300 difference enough to really warrant making the move? So if you guys want to learn more about the iPhone 10, you could check out our website, PhoneArena.com. This is John V, signing off.